Hello, happy Monday. My name is Lauren. I am 43 years old. I love helping women learn to love their makeup again as they age. And yes, I have funky eyebrows because we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of doing your brows. So say hi, tell me where you're watching from. I have a cold today, you guys. I'm going to do my best to not cough on camera, but I did want to show you guys just how easy brows can be. So if you're jumping on, this is intentional. I have one of my brows done, the other one's not. We're gonna talk do's and don'ts of brows and how easy it can be. So hello from Rhode Island, Montreal, Danville, Illinois. Oh, what do we do at 52 today is my first day. Okay. Toronto, hello. Okay. If you're just jumping on, I am Lauren. My name is Lauren. I have a head cold and I feel like I am all over the place today, but I thought let's just jump on and do this. We're going to do brows. I started doing them and thought let's just break this down. So I did this brow really intentionally wrong on purpose because I want to show you some do's and don'ts. So if you are not following me, make sure you are if you want easy makeup tips, and also go ahead and make sure that you save this video when I do post it. You guys are from all over. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, so I want to show you my brows. This is my don't side, and we're going to talk about yes. Well, we haven't even done a brow yet, you guys. So it should look better than this one. This is wrong. This is not what I'm trying to do. I want to show you my brows to start off with are microbladed. But as we age, one of the biggest things that happen is we have more sparse brows because we've accidentally over plucked them. Maybe they're getting sparse because of hair loss. Some of us are in perimenopause or menopause. Those are all very normal things. But there is a very universal way that you can get your brows to look on point, look very natural. I'm really big about doing natural brows as we age, and I'm going to show you. Hi, Kelsey. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see you too in 2 weeks. It's going to be so fun. We're actually, Kelsey is another Seint artist. She's one of my good friends, and we are going on a trip to St. George in 2 weeks, and I haven't seen her in forever. So excited she jumped on for a second. Okay, brows. Let's talk don'ts first. I'm going to get right into it. This brow right here, the biggest thing that people do, and we've been taught to do, is to use too dark of a color when you are filling in your brows. So right here, I have way too dark of a color on my brows and almost looks blocky, right? So we've been taught to fill in our brows, make them very symmetrical. Brows are not symmetrical. No brows are going to look the exact same. So if you're using a pencil, I'm going to show you a couple of things, and I'm going to show you some Seint products, but I'm also going to show you some brow products that you can use depending on how you want your brows to look. So a lot of us, I want to just find my brow pencil. A lot of us are used to using pencils like this. This is not my favorite way to fill in your brows. So if you're using a pencil like this and you're filling in your brows, one of the biggest things that can happen with that is you're going to make it too blocky and too symmetrical. This just looks thick and it looks very unnatural. Our brows are not just going to have a thick blocky line. If you look at this brow, there's a lot of hair strokes in there. So we want to think hair strokes when we're doing our brows. The other thing that can happen is we pull this tail down way too far. And what that does is it makes our eyes look droopy. So we're going to talk about how do you make your brows look natural for your face shape, because everyone is different, and that's what we're going to do. Okay. So I'm going to start by showing you oh, Holly, you're so sweet. I'm going to show you a couple of easy ways that you can, if you're a natural girl, if you're like, listen, I don't have time to fill in my brows. I want something very, very natural. Number one, easiest thing you can possibly do, take a spoolie brush. You can go on Amazon. They have packs of them for super cheap. I like the line brush from Seint just because I'm going to show you how to use it. But you just grab a spoolie brush. You go into an eyeshadow. Now, the biggest thing with your eyeshadow, if you're going to use an eyeshadow on your eyebrows, is I want you to go lighter rather than darker. Darkness is going to age your face. And so we don't want to go too dark. We actually want to go lighter. So when you're looking at your brow color, choose a color that's just like one shade lighter. I like to use an eyeshadow. If you are a beginner, this is the easiest thing ever. You take your spoolie, you rub it in the eyeshadow, coat it, and then you're going to brush your brows just like that with the eyeshadow. Easiest natural way to get your brows filled in. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to show you actually how to map out your brow today. But if you are just someone who is very new to makeup and you want to do something with your brows, you're intimidated maybe to try something a little bit harder, try the eyeshadow with a spoolie and then brush it up through your brows. Easy, you get out the door, okay? That's idea number one. But let's talk about if you have brows, maybe they're not microbladed, maybe they're thinner, maybe they're sparse, or maybe they're just out of control. We don't know what to do with them. I'm gonna show you how you're gonna map out your brow, okay? So you wanna have some kind of, you can use a pencil, you can use another makeup brush, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna take, this is the line brush I just showed you. It has a spoolie end and then kind of like an angled end right here. And what I like about this is I can use this to kind of make marks on my brow where my brow needs to be filled in, because no one's brow has perfect hairs, okay? So we wanna fill them in different ways. So we're gonna take this line brush. I'm going in with this color. Look at this. Can you see how that's a little bit, sorry, my palette is really messy, but this color is just a little lighter than my eyebrow color, okay? And that's what we're looking for. Don't want anything too dark. If I was to pick a color like, I just wanna show you the color on my brow over here. This is the color I used on this brow. And it's very, very unnatural in my opinion. So if you're looking for natural, pick a shade, one shade lighter. You're gonna take this kind of brush. So find something, if you don't have the line brush, you're gonna tap it in. And by the way, all of this makeup that I'm showing you in the palettes, I do free color matches. And so when I do post this, if you want to match, all you have to do is say match and I'll send you my color match form. Okay, so the first place that we're going to mark out our brows is taking your brush and you're going to put it right directly next to your nose. And you can see I'm placing it just a little bit higher. And then all I'm going to do is take my brush that had a little eyeshadow on it and make a mark. See how I made the mark? That's where you want your brow to start. So line it up with your nose, have eyeshadow on the brush, and just make a mark, okay? Don't comment match yet because I won't be able to, I won't see your comments when this erases. So I will post this on my main page. So if you're not following me, go follow me. But when I do post this, you can comment match and I'll be able to help you. Okay, putting a little bit more on my eyeshadow on my brush. Now I'm gonna take my brush and I'm gonna line it up with my nose again, but I'm gonna create an angle. So I'm going to, a lot of us really quick as we age, if you're not getting Botox, for the most part, you're gonna have your brow, the arch of your brow is going to become more hooded. Your eyes become more hooded. Maybe it becomes a little more flat. It's harder to find that arch. So this is going to be the way we're gonna create an arch and fake it, okay? So you're gonna take your brush, line it up with the edge of your nose again, and you wanna kind of be right at an angle where your eye is. So just kind of like here, turn it, and you're gonna make another mark, like that. And that's exactly where your arch will be. So let me show you that one more time, okay? Because once you figure out these three places, it makes filling in your brows so easy, okay? And the reason I love this brush is because it just makes it so easy. Just like that. And I make kind of like a big mark. You can always erase it, just so you can see it, okay? So, here first, and then at an angle above the eye. Okay, last mark. This is what's going to help you make sure you don't put your tail of your brow too far down. Now, if your tail of your brow and you have hair here, like let's say your hair of your brow comes down this much, you're gonna wanna pluck that because you don't wanna have your hair come down. It's gonna make, look at the side, look how it just droops down the eye. We actually want our tail to frame it. So, line it up with your nose again, and then you're gonna come all the way to where your last eyelash is. See how I'm lined up right here? And I'm just gonna make a mark like that. So I've got 3 marks. I've got it here where the brow's gonna start. I've got it here where the arch should be. And then I've got it at the edge where my last eyelash is. That's where the tail should be. And you can make crazy marks. It's okay, because we're gonna erase them. So now you've got your 3 marks, okay? And if you're just joining us, this is the wrong way to do your eyebrow. I'm teaching you the right ways to do your eyebrow. So you wanna make sure you're following me and make sure that when I do post this, you save it so you can come back to it. Okay, so the next step, we've got that all kind of laid out. The other thing you can do is you can brush your brow down if you want to be able to see kind of the marks a little bit more. You can see I have microbladed brows, so I have a good outline there, but I don't want to teach you that just yet. So we're just going to make sure here, 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 we've got that marked. Now, you're going to take a brush that looks like something like this. See how that's just a very tiny, tiny brush. Really important when you're picking a brow product, it is a tiny product. So if you don't want to use an eyeshadow, I love the Kosas. This is the Nano Pop. I like to show you guys lots of different options because if you're a pencil girl, this is one I totally recommend. It has a spoolie on one side, and then it has just a really small tip. The reason you want a small tip to your pencil is because it's gonna look more hair-like and it's gonna look more natural. If I'm using something that looks like, where's my other one I just had? Right here. If I'm using something like this, which a lot of people use for brows, look at the difference. This is gonna make it a lot thicker. It's not gonna look hair-like, and this is gonna make it look hair-like. So using a smaller pencil, really important. So if you don't wanna use eyeshadow, this is a great one. The other one I really like is the micro filling pin. It's a little harder to work with, but it's by Benefit, and it has these like hair-like strokes. The biggest thing with filling in your eyebrows is just making sure it looks natural. We don't want this block shape, okay? So I'm gonna use eyeshadow, but like I said, you can always go and use a pencil, just look for something very small. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into my Seint palette, which is nice, needs to be cleaned, and I'm gonna use this color. Look, it's lighter than my natural brow. I'm doing that on purpose. Now, I'm gonna take my brush, and I'm gonna take some setting spray. This is just gonna ensure it stays longer, and I'm going to spray my brush, tap a little bit onto the eyeshadow. Now, I marked my brow, right? So I marked where I wanted it to start, I marked the arch, and I marked the tail. I like to start where the arch is and create an arch. I'm gonna take my pencil, and I'm going to kind of outline where I had that mark. And this is okay right here to kind of fill it in, okay? So I'm not making total hair-like strokes, I'm just filling in that area. Okay, once I have that, I'm then just gonna put a little bit more on the brow, or on the brush, and I'm gonna kind of just create almost like a line, but if you watch how I'm moving my brush, I'm moving it in small strokes. I'm not just drawing like I had a Sharpie pencil or a marker. I'm not drawing across. I'm just making small little strokes so it looks natural. So I've defined the arch because I had the mark there, so I knew where it went. And then I'm just drawing in because a lot of us get really sparse just on the inner part of the brow, okay? Then I marked how far I want my brow to go. I don't want my brow over here. We don't want to look like a unibrow. We want to keep it here. We don't want our brow to start here. We want to be right lined up with the nose. That's going to be the most symmetrical. And then a lot of us are sparse right here. So if you're sparse right there, you don't want to go and block it out because it's going to look really thick like this. So instead, you just want to take your brush and make some hair-like strokes up. Almost like you're tapping your brush where there's no hair, okay? See how that's already looking more hair-like? And then you can take your spoolie and kind of brush through that again, and that's going to just make sure it looks very even, okay? So now I've got most of my brow kind of, you know, mapped out there. Now the tail. So the tail, for me, should stop right where my natural tail does. So that's easy, right? I don't have to go and try to figure out how to pluck that or anything, but I'm just gonna stop right there. So a lot of us have lost this part of our brow as we age. So you can take an eyeshadow or take a thin brow pencil like this one and just fill that area in. But it's just very small. You're just working in very small strokes. So look at the difference already about how natural that looks compared to the don't side. This looks blocky. This looks like a natural brow that has healthy hair-like strokes in it. So it doesn't look like I went and drew on an eyebrow. This is going to look very natural, okay? So once I have that, now if you were to fill it in, I just want to show you, if you were to fill it in with like a pencil, it's the exact same thing. You literally would just come right where you marked your tail or your start of your brow and just kind of fill it in using hair-like strokes. I like to kind of go up like this. That makes sense. That's the kind of movement I'm making. So it looks like natural hair, okay? And this is a lot lighter. I don't know if you can see that. It's a lot lighter than my natural brow. That is a really important thing. Okay, then now how am I gonna get it to stay all day? I am going to use a brow wax. There are lots of brow waxes out there. Benefit has a good one if you like, you know, a wax that's like this. This one's tinted. You can also get a tinted wax. It's another easy way to fill in the brows. Or Seint has this brow wax that looks like this, but you have to activate it. So I'm gonna spray some setting spray on it. If you want everything in one palette, Seint is really great for that. You don't need a bunch of products. And I'm gonna take my spoolie and just run it onto the wax. Taking the spoolie, I'm then going to brush my brows up. Now, if you want a lift to your eye, this is a step you don't want to skip. So I'm gonna brush everything up like this. It's gonna look crazy for a second, and then I'm gonna show you how to fix that. So, also brushing through the eyeshadow that you just did is also gonna give you a more natural look. Now, I don't want all of these crazy hairs, so what I'm gonna do now is right about here. I like these front hairs kind of sticking up. It just makes it look a little bit fuller. Then I'm gonna go and shape it by just kind of pulling down like that. And it's total preference. If you're like, I hate that, then you can pull that down too. That's totally what you like. Can we see the difference though? This one looks more full, it looks natural, it doesn't look like it's a big block, it doesn't look heavy, it doesn't weigh down my face. It's not too dramatic. And that, as we age, is what we're looking for in makeup. At least that's what I'm looking for in makeup, is to look the most like myself without having heavy, cakey, layered makeup on. And so to get a really natural brow like this, that's all you have to do. Use your face as a roadmap, use these markers, and that's gonna help a lot. The last thing you can do, and this is not something you have to do, but you can kind of carve out your brow a little bit more. So I have like a little, this could be like a paintbrush. This is the spot brush from Seint and a little bit of concealer. And I like to start from where I made the arch and just put a little bit of concealer right under that brow. It's gonna give more of an illusion of an arch. Look how that already pushed up that arch. If you don't have one, this is a game changer. And then you can even put a little right on top of the brow and just carve out that area. Now I'm using cream, so it's very easy to work with, but you can do a concealer if you prefer that. And that's gonna carve out the brow, and it's also gonna add lift to the eye. So those are some simple, easy things, you guys, that you can take away today and go try, and I promise you, you will see so much success with them because they're very, very easy to do. But if you're interested in getting a free color match, if you like the brow products I use, I will post this on my main page. I will let you know what products I use. And I'm also going to, on the post, put other products too that I like, because I think everyone has different preferences in life. But at any time, if you want to match, once I post this, just comment match. And let me know in the comments too, what problems are you struggling with makeup? I would love to do lives that are addressing your issues. So let me know if there's something you want me to go live and work on and show you just how easy makeup can be. And if you aren't following me, make sure you are, because I teach easy, simple, natural makeup tips as our skin ages. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful Monday. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope you learned a little bit. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.